This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Ferguson has a new police chief tonight. Troy Doyle swore the oath of office before a packed house at Ferguson City Hall. The city hopes Doyle can bring stability to a position rocked by rapid turnover. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live in Ferguson with new reaction to the new chief. Mark.
Mike and Ann, Troy Doyle is a well-known name in law enforcement circles in the area. He spent years as a top lieutenant in St. Louis County and recently told 5 on Your Side he's something of a fixer for police departments facing a tall order or a big challenge, and he'll have one of those on his plate as he takes over the helm here. He signaled his commitment at that swearing-in ceremony today to rooting out any racial discrimination in policing, all of that which was detailed in that federal consent decree with the Department of Justice.
We will work tirelessly to ensure that our department is in full compliance with this important document.
Police Chief Troy Doyle swore the oath of office Monday and took over as the top cop in a department under a national microscope.
Ferguson is a city that the world knows. It's probably the most famous small city, if you will.
St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell called Doyle an ideal fit for a tough job.
We will not engage in racial profiling or other discriminatory practices.
Doyle pledged to hold officers accountable and crack down on dangerous driving in crime hot zones.
I eventually plan to introduce software that would allow us to analyze crime data more effectively. This software will help us identify patterns and trends and will enable us to allocate resources more effectively.
I love Ferguson. I've been here 30 years. I just want to see us go forward.
Rapid turnover in the top job has frustrated residents like Annette Jenkins.
When we keep changing staff every 2 to 3 years, we can't get ahead. How are we supposed to get ahead?
Well, to be fair, the average chief across the country, we're talking 3 years. And so Ferguson is fit in that, but with the consent decree, it is even more of a challenge, if you will, in some ways.
Doyle officially starts his duties April 1 and faces a tall order of building trust with a skeptical public.
The DOJ required that they keep us informed, and they have not.
What would you like? What information are you looking for?
I'm looking for the reason behind the firing of Chief McCall and the reason for bringing in new chief. You know, we need to know. We don't know what happened. All we know, he's gone and he's in.
Doyle's personal story also includes an interesting note. He says he's felt the sting of racial discrimination in his own professional pursuits. He's right now locked up in a lawsuit suing St. Louis County for what he says was discrimination against his appointment or his hopes to land a top police job in a separate instance. Live in Ferguson, Mark Maxwell, 5 on Your Side.
Tonight, we're learning more about a shooting that left a 14-year-old boy dead in North St. Louis County. It happened last night in Berkeley, shortly before 7 o'clock. 5 on Your Side's Mercedes McKay joins us live from the Berkeley Police Department, where the Major Case Squad is investigating this shooting. Mercedes.
Mike, police say the 14-year-old boy doesn't even live in the neighborhood where this happened last night. The teenager is actually from St. Louis City. Now, this morning, we spent most of the day in the neighborhood where several people told us they're tired of the constant crime.
I know it's bad everywhere, but some places are worse than others. You know, I worked all my life to have a comfortable home, and it's not happening.
Carrie Ferguson has lived in her home on Larry Lane for over 4 decades.
I had worked at the VA hospital for 40 years, and after I retired from there, I thought I was going to be able to come home and enjoy my home.
But the constant caution tape and commotion on her block is making her rethink some things.
Every night we hear gunshot, we hear loud music going, we hear dog barking all night, car doors slamming, so I think it's time for me to move out.
Less than 24 hours ago, Ferguson heard those similar sounds of gunshots 12 times in a row. Daylight revealing bullet holes on neighbors' homes.
And I immediately called 911, and my son said, "Mom, don't go to that door or that window."
Shortly before 7 p.m., the Berkeley Police Department responded to a call of multiple teens carrying guns as well as shots fired on Larry Lane. At the scene, officers found a 14-year-old boy dead in the front yard of a home. He had been shot in the chest.
Oh, I didn't know the young man. I don't think he even lived on the block.
Police say the victim lived in St. Louis City. Now, 18 investigators from the Major Case Squad are handling the case. Ferguson says it's terrible that crime continues to happen between young people, and something needs to stop.
And I think they're telling these kids, if you do stuff, I think they're telling them you're juvenile, nothing gonna happen. But you know, they need to be trained up and taught the right way.
Many other neighbors did not want to talk on camera, but they all had similar feelings as Ferguson. Now, police say they do not have any suspects at this time. If you know anything about this case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Live in Berkeley, Mercedes McKay, 5 on your side.
The city of St. Louis is taking 2 major auto groups to court, demanding they pay for a spike in car thefts. 5 on your side's Christine Byers was at the mayor's announcement and is here with the company's responses. Christine.
And in the past year, Hyundais and Kias have accounted for 88% of all reported attempted vehicle thefts in the city of St. Louis alone. The city says its police department has spent too much time and money investigating them. Now, the mayor wants the automakers to pay up.
The lawsuit alleges that Kia and Hyundai didn't follow industry standards, never installing engine immobilizers on millions of vehicles. While commonly used in vehicles and mandatory in Europe and even Canada, they are not a required component in cars produced in the U.S. In a statement, a Hyundai spokesman says the company is now offering free software upgrades to consumers. So is Kia, and in its statement, a spokesman responded directly to the suit, saying lawsuits against Kia by municipalities are without merit. Mayor Tashara Jones disagrees.
Simply put, by refusing to follow industry standards, making their cars so easy that a child could do it, Kia and Hyundai created a public safety hazard in cities across the country and put a target on the backs of their customers.
In other cities, including Seattle, San Diego, Columbus, and Milwaukee, they have filed similar lawsuits against automakers so far this year. To read the St. Louis lawsuit as well as more about the software upgrade the automakers have offered, go to my story on KSTK.com.
Christine, thanks. A Tennessee teenager who lost her legs after getting hit by a car near the Dome in downtown St. Louis last month could be heading home soon. Right now, Janae Edmondson is recovering at a rehab facility in Nashville. Today, her mom posted an update on the girl's GoFundMe page saying Janae now has a go-home date. She didn't say what the date is, but did say going home is a big motivator in her recovery. So far, the GoFundMe has raised more than $790,000.
A reminder, if you travel a stretch of I-44 near Eureka, get ready for some major delays. In a couple of hours, MoDOT will close an eastbound lane over the Merrimack River near Route 66 State Park. Crews are replacing joints on the bridge and finishing other maintenance work. The lane will be shut down through December. If you travel in this area, expect delays, especially during the morning commute. The lane closure was supposed to happen last week, but was delayed due to the rain.